Yo, 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 man. Welcome back. Another episode of For the Love of the Game. Another beautiful day of playoff basketball. You understand me? And today we had a good one. Today we had some good playoff games. Three of them. No, two of them. One. We had one. I'm going to get there. Before I get there, man, be sure if you're new, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. Tell a friend who likes sports that, hey, I know a dude who talks sports. Tell a friend. They might know a powerful friend, powerful friend might know a more powerful friend. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you could do for me. So I appreciate it. Thank y'all for watching. So look, man, we had three playoff games today, man. We got Brooklyn and Boston. We got LA and Phoenix, and we got Denver versus Portland. Um, LA Phoenix 2-2 series is tied. Today Brooklyn was looking to close it out against Boston, which they were able to do. And Denver, Portland 2-2 series is tied. So great games. I'm gonna start at Boston and Brooklyn. Brooklyn's able to close out Boston tonight. Win it in 4-1. I had him getting swept. Like I touched on my last video. Shout out Jason Tatum. He had 50. Shout out his greatness. He was allowed him to not get swept. So they didn't get swept. They was able to get a game out for dignity. Everybody knew this though. Them being short Jaylen Brown off top was already like, first off, with Jaylen Brown, they were losing the series. So then you take away Jaylen Brown, they're gonna lose the series. Then through the series, they missed Kemba and Robert Williams for the last two games, guys that play valuable minutes. That's what I touched on last video as well. They were gonna lose the series, and that's fine, man. Like, I think they knew that. What's interesting now is Boston is at that time where they need to find that piece that they need. I don't know if they need to replace Kemba. I don't know if Kimba's a part of that core, but your core in Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and I think Marcus Smart is safe too. Marcus Smart's been there. He's the coach of the team. Marcus Smart bleeds Boston. Boston loves him. All that, right? I think he's safe. The question is, where do you go from here? I think that's interesting from Boston. Jason Tatum this game was able to have 32. Evan Fournier was able to have 18. Romeo Langford has 17. One of those games. No disrespect to Romeo Langford, but he's not one of the top guys. Jabari Parker had 13. Great to see that from the Chicago legend. But we knew that this series was more of the Nets finally starting to play together. It was more of they haven't really played together due to COVID, due to injuries, because we know KD was sidelined for like 2 to 3 months of the season, and all it would say is hamstring. We didn't know what was wrong with it. We just knew hamstring. That's all y'all need to know. So, for various reasons, they didn't play anything other than maybe like 11 games. So this series was nothing more than them coming out, seeing how they can play together, because when they've played together, it has looked amazing, but they haven't played together that often. So it's not a very big sample size. So to come together in this playoff series and just be electrifying and do what they did, do exactly what we pictured. Today you get 8 for 16 from Kevin Durant. That's 50% shooting. He had 24. You get 25 from Kyrie. You get 34 from James Harden. And then you get 10 from Bruce Brown. You also got 10 from Joe Harris. Those 5 guys right there are the names I consistently say every video. DeAndre Jordan's getting DMPs, but also a valuable piece in Jeff Green is out. Jeff Green will be anywhere between that 10 to 16 point range as well. And DeAndre Jordan, they're just going to have to wait till they need him. I expect to see him next series when they take Milwaukee. I expect to see him if they play Philly. He'll play those kind of games. Just situational. That's how the NBA's turning. But I want to give a special shout out to James Harden, man. One of the ones who so-called had the hardest transition, coming from being ball dominant, coming over here. Just showing you what kind of player he is. Last game, he was able to have 23 points and 18 assists. And he's so versatile that the very next game, he can come and be your leading scorer and give you 34 points, but also give you 10 assists and 10 rebounds. I think that's his 5th career playoff triple-double. Now we got Brooklyn versus Milwaukee. That is going to be interesting. I'm not going to get there yet just because I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna have a video about that. They're done early. They were able to take care of business. Um, and we'll do that. The second game, bro. Denver versus Portland. That I'm only gonna be able to touch on a little bit. People, if you watch the game, if you've been on Twitter, you know what I'm gonna talk about. Damian Lillard, because I was too busy watching the Lakers get 30-pieced to watch a great game by a great player. Everybody in the world thought that we was gonna see crazy Bron, and we couldn't miss this game for nothing. Pivotal game. Oh man. Meanwhile, LA getting smacked by 30 on television, and Dame is going for 55 in a double overtime game on NBA TNT. So I caught the last little bit of it. Like I touched on earlier, man, it was 2-2, series tied up. Denver is able to pull this out in a 147-140 win in double overtime over the Portland Trailblazers. Damian Lillard went completely crazy, man. He had 55 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. He was 17 for 24 and 12 for 17 from 3. I know y'all didn't hear that, and if you did, it can't be processing right, because some of the things I said are like, he had what? So let me read it again. He had 55, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, on 17 of 24 shooting, which is 71%. 12 for 71. 12 for 17 on 3, which is also 71%. That is an amazing game. And then was 9 for 10 at the free throw line. Gave it everything he had. Hit the game winner to send it into overtime. And then not a game winner. Sent the go-ahead bucket to send it into overtime. And then hit another go-ahead bucket to send it into the second overtime. Had the chance to send it into the third. Late turnover by CJ McCollum kind of cost it. Denver was able to ice it with free throws. But when you look at Denver, man, Michael Porter Jr., a guy everyone said was going to have to step up and play big, pivotal minutes with Jamal Murray going down if they want to be something. He had 26 points, 12 rebounds on 10 of 13 shooting. That's efficient. That's great. You get 14 and 10 from Aaron Gordon. You get your usual 38, 9, and 11 from Jokic. You also able to get 18 from Austin Rivers, 28 from Monte Morris. I mean, in the last video, in my videos about Denver, my question about them has been, yes, we know you're going to get 38 points, 9 assists, 11 rebounds from Nikola Jokic. We understand that. What are you going to get from Michael Porter? What are you going to get from Aaron Gordon? What are you going to get from Austin Rivers? What are you going to get from Monte Morris? What are you going to get from Paul Millsap, JaMychal Green? My question has always been those guys. Those guys that I have been questioning came out tonight, took care of business. Most of those guys had positive plus minuses. Came out, played an amazing game, and you got to understand, Damian Lillard is going to have nights like that. He's going to be great. He's one of the best shooters, one of the best scorers of this generation. He gets hot like no one else can get hot. You got to be able to weather that storm and just understand that all we got to do is win the game. They're okay with Damian Lillard having 55 as long as they won. Shout out Denver. I still have Portland winning the series, and in 7 now. But Denver definitely had more fight than I gave them credit, man. I didn't see it going like this. I didn't expect them in a double overtime game with no Jamal Murray, where Damian Lillard goes for 55, for them to still pull it out. Shout out Denver. They take a 3-2 lead. Then we go to the main event. You can hear it in my voice how lit this game was. Lakers versus Phoenix, man. Late in game 4, AD, late in the second quarter in game 4, AD goes down with a growing injury. He can't come back to the remainder of the second half. Philly start to pull away with that game. The second half of that game looked terrible for LA. They were depleted. They were deflated. They had no offense. They couldn't get anything going. So then It comes out AD's questionable. He was hurt. He was banged up. Phoenix was able to win that game, so now it's 2-2. AD's banged up. The question is, Bron, can you carry the load for this team? Because now all of a sudden we're back to the whole narrative of LeBron's career's on the line with this game 5 against the Phoenix Suns. Okay. So it becomes, Bron, can you put this team on your back? Bron, there's not enough pieces. What do you do without AD? This team cannot function without AD. It was all hyped up. Phoenix are the underdogs. Oh my gosh, we're about to see an amazing game 5. LeBron comes out. He shoots like the first 4 shots. He's super aggressive. He might be like 2 for 4. He might be like 2 for 5. Super aggressive. You looking at his face and it's like, oh yeah. He might have been missing a couple of them, but it's like he's on. He's on right now. He's on. And as the game progressed, man, that faded. You know, that faded. Was this game in favor of the Phoenix Suns? Absolutely. I touched on it last time. I'm not taking nothing away from the Phoenix Suns. When you are a great team, when you want to be a championship team, you have to take advantage of what you have to take advantage of. When the Toronto Raptors beat the Golden State Warriors, they didn't say, oh, there's no Clay. Oh, what do we do? There's no Clay, right? When there was no Clay, they took advantage of that. Both games were Klay Thompson missed. There was no Kevin Durant. You take advantage of that. That's not your fault. You come to play. You can worry about what you can control. They can control the intensity they played with in the coaching adjustments they were given and how they come out and do that. How they come out and execute the game plan is up to them. They don't care about no Anthony Davis. So LeBron was 9 for 19. You don't have your superstar, okay, and you shoot 19 shots. He had 24 points with a negative 24 plus minus. Did he need more from Markieff Morris, who got the start, right, with 4 points? He got the start and only ended up playing 10 minutes. Didn't really play much or at all in the second half. You got 7 from Andre Drummond, your starting center. You got 15 from Kyle Kuzma. Wasn't the best 15. He was also 6 for 13. And you got 11 from Talen Horton-Tucker. No one else is in double digits. So, could everyone else literally on this team have helped LeBron out more in some kind of way? Absolutely. But what I don't like, man, is I don't even want to come on here and say he should have been more aggressive, man, but 19 field goal attempts in a game where you know you should be at about 35, being overly aggressive. I seen him passing up a lot of shots. He was still coming out trying to play make, still trying to find guys. That's not what they needed you to do this game. There was no Anthony Davis. There was nobody for you to play through and you to get hot when you want to. There was none of that. There was you and the rest of this team that was relying on you. And LeBron had me a little frustrated. And he didn't get back on defense sometimes after some turnovers. His body language just wasn't the best. After some turnovers, he's walking back on defense, which are resulting in the Phoenix Suns buckets off of turnovers, where he's not back. You know, on a Torrey Craig dunk, you can see as he's going up for the dunk, LeBron's in the background walking. Now, if you don't think y'all are going to win, okay, think that. Don't show it, because now the whole team is deflated. You're the leader. But I'm also not going to get up here and say I expected something crazy from Bron. I was one of those. I did expect 40 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. I thought we were in for one of those performances that he's done so often, which is really why I'm not going to get up here and say too much, because he's done it so often. So when he doesn't do it one time, that's not the end of the world, because there's still a game 6. There's still a game 6 and a game 7, Brian. We might not have seen game 5, Brian, but game 6, we know game 6, Brian. Shout out Boston. We know game 7, Brian. Shout out San Antonio, Golden State, whoever. It's not over. I'm not going to get up here and bash them. I did want to see more. We shoot over to Phoenix, man. You get 13 from Mikal Bridges. You get 30 from Devin Booker, who struggled the last 3 games. He really played good the first game. So the last 2 games, you got 30 from him, able to get out of his slump, and he was able to have 5 assists and 7 rebounds. You get 16 from Cameron Payne. You get 11 from Frank Kaminsky. And you had 9 from Chris Paul. Again, bro, Chris Paul he's been limited all series. He's been limited all series. But you can't replace what he can do on the floor. As far as when he's on the floor, he's a threat in the pick and roll. If it's shooting the midi, if it's making the right play, he's a threat, period. So him being on the floor has a bigger impact than him being off the floor. It's crazy, but him playing 23 minutes, had a positive 34 plus minus, the highest on the team. There's a reason. And for him to have 9 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and be a threat sounds crazy. But if you really know about Chris Paul and what he does to a game, you understand he's a threat being out there with his mental. That's all he needs to manipulate a game. So flowers to Phoenix, bro. Like I said, they don't care that AD was out. They know that they needed this game. They know that they were back at home and the fans was gonna be rocking. The arena was gonna be rocking. They knew that. They knew that. Now it was about coming out, executing, playing a high level basketball, intensity, and attacking the basket. They said there's no Anthony Davis. They were attacking the basket, man, to start it off. Drummond wasn't enough to do it by himself. They know that when they come back to LA for Game 6, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a good game, but that's where it'll all lay, man. All the marbles, because Phoenix did what they needed to do. That's what championship teams do. They win games that they're supposed to win. Really doesn't matter about too much else. Win the games that you are supposed to win. Control what you can control. Phoenix did that tonight, winning by a commanding 30. They beat them by 30 from the get-go. They were up by 30 in the second quarter. 3-2 lead, Phoenix. That's our Tuesday wrap-up of basketball, man. Super interesting. We got more games tomorrow, possibly closeout games with what we got tomorrow. Hold on. Because I'm pretty sure we got Memphis, Atlanta, and Philly. Yeah, we got Philly, Atlanta, and Memphis. And Dallas. We got the Dallas versus Clippers game, too. We got all that tomorrow, man. So y'all gonna see me again, bro. So just watch my previous video right here. Subscribe to the channel right here. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.